Well, we did it again. Time to take two.
Take two.
Take two. This is Alec at the Redline podcast with my good friend Grant Weaver. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, and we've done jobs together and built tree houses and hung out just as couples. His wife and my wife are good friends and was a member of our church back in the day, and just been hanging out a lot over the last several years since I quit my job as an electrician. But he's here to talk about his business and a treehouse that he built and other things too. But first, just want to hear about yourself, your journey, how you got to where you are, and how did you become the man that you?
A lot of practice and failure.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I grew up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and lived all over the country. Moved out to Astoria for a year, learned building department maintenance, got a job out in Phoenix, Arizona, and bought a few properties out there, flipped them, rented them, stuff like that, and then ended up moving to Missouri, Florida, Bellevue, Washington, back to Missouri, a few different places. Anyways, ended
always
up back
building,
here.
always doing plumbing, building, contracting, buying, flipping, selling houses, real estate. Okay.
Yep. Clear back in early 2000s is when I started real estate.
Then you met your beloved, figured out that you'd flip her house.
Yep. Made a good profit on that, and then we pretty much bought our new property, cash, and with a little help from my sister. She helped me with that. We did a bunch of flips when we got here with my sister, and my buddy George and Alec was helping us too. This has been a journey. Been a good journey.
Okay, so now you've got a couple businesses. First, I wanted to talk about the contracting business because I think your primary reason for being here would be the treehouse. But I'd love for you to talk about your contracting business. What's your main line and then sideline hip pocket stuff?
So yeah, I've got B as in Blanchard Creek Contracting, and we do excavating. A lot of it's in Idaho, but we do Washington also. I've got an Idaho Washington license, so I can go either way. But we do trenching, utility line digs, road, gravel roads, and site clearing, stuff like that. So,
okay. So you've got a bobcat, or as you call it, skid steer.
Skid steer, yeah.
It's not a bobcat. So apparently, there's a difference.
Big skid steer, but it's not a small one. So.
Yeah. New Holland.
Yeah.
But you're proficient with the big ones, so you can do any of the any work that's needed.
Yeah,
as your man.
I'm proficient with an excavator, and
good.
Yeah, I rent all kinds of equipment. So,
but you're also a builder and do.
Yeah, during my off season, I do all kinds of stuff. So, I flipped houses and I built houses. So it's not, I do pretty much everything except for the plumbing, electrical, and HVAC.
Okay. Nice. Okay, the treehouse. Talk about the treehouse.
So yeah, that's been a dream of mine to build one. I don't know when it started, but from the earliest point I can remember, I was probably 6, and I built a treehouse up on Caca Mountain out in Bonners Ferry. It was the most amazing view. I mean, I didn't even realize how beautiful it was up there until I seen it like a few years back. But it was on this tree overlooking this massive valley, and it was just like, I'm sure it was just really rudimentary, like a platform up there, probably just nailed up and a couple boards on it. But
how old were you?
I was like 6.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so the treehouse is on your property. Mm-hmm. Tell us where it is in the world and describe it if you can.
So it's on the north side of Mount Spokane. If anybody's been out there, it's Blanchard Creek Road. It's this beautiful little creek that runs all year round, and big huge cedar trees and all kinds of different trees out there, and they're all big because the loggers can't get to them. So you come up to our property, and there's a road that goes up there, and as you're going up the road and you turn the corner from our place, it's about 350 400 feet from our property up a hill, and you come around the hill, and you're just like awestruck because you're like, whoa, that's big.
It's beautiful.
It's in a tree.
Yeah. It's got that live edge and all those windows, and it's so high up, and the octagon and the metal roof. It's just, it does take your breath away.
Yeah, copper standing seam roof that
Yeah.
we were pushing to get, was expensive, and I
Yeah.
ended up doing it myself because I was like, man,
Okay.
cost a lot.
So walking in, describe it and sort of walk us through the building a little bit.
So you walk in, you have a pretty much a full kitchen on the right, coffee bar, an apartment size range oven, um, and a nice size fridge, microwave, nice lighting. I mean, we have
Really big windows.
we have these huge windows. Yeah, the 6 foot by 4 foot, three of those, and then a sliding glass door. So your view of the scenery is just amazing.
Nice.
And it all looks out at Mount Spokane.
Gorgeous.
And yeah, the views out there just change, depending on the time of day.
Yeah. Yeah. Then there's an upstairs loft.
Hmm.
Beautiful up there. And then I think for me, the coolest part of the whole thing is the shower. It's just, it's pretty amazing. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I built cedar strip kayaks, and I learned this back in Missouri, and I probably built like 6 or 7, I can't remember, different types, a couple paddle boards, and what it is, you just glue strips together, and then you fiberglass both sides, and you build it over a form, and you epoxy it, and so I had this wild idea that I would build the shower out of this, and so I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to do this. So I start googling it, and I'm like, there's nothing out here even close to that. I mean, you can find tubs that are strip built and other things, boats, tons of boats, and some different things, but nothing on the shower realm. But so I was like, well, I guess I gotta be the first, or I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm the first or not, but I couldn't find anything on it. So
Yeah.
I kind of came up with my own deal, and it turned out beautiful.
Looks
Um,
gorgeous.
it's Alaskan yellow cedar, walnut, and zebra wood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
and it's
Um,
6 foot long, and it's got a rain shower head.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, the bathroom's pretty small, but the shower's pretty spectacular. Yeah.
Oh, it's top of the line when it comes to showers, especially for a treehouse.
What was the biggest challenge of the building it?
The shower?
No, no, no. The whole
Oh,
treehouse. Yeah. What was the biggest challenge?
oh, the fact that it's up on a hillside, moving material up there, setting up a skylift to get up there. Yeah, I mean, just the whole thing
Yeah.
was a
Every
challenge.
every bit of it was hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
much harder than I expected.
what are you currently celebrating in your business and life right now?
The fact that the treehouse is built now, and that we're moving on to a different era with it, and we're now figuring out the business part of it because we've never done Airbnb and the vacation rental things. So this
Hmm.
is a whole new realm for us, and I don't think it's going to be that difficult, but it's just a learning process you have to get through and figure it out.
Nice.
And so we've actually gotten lucky to have Airbnb sets you up with a superhost. So if you have any questions, you go to the superhost and ask him questions. And finding a cleaner was kind of a big deal because we
Nice.
didn't want to have to be married to the cleaning, and
Yeah.
we wanted somebody that would take charge of it. And all we have to do is just let them know, hey, it's time
Yeah.
to clean it.
Who's your target client? Who are you really looking to rent from you?
It seems our niche is going to be the romantic treehouse getaway. It's quite romantic up there.
Yeah.
So
Very
yeah,
isolated,
yeah,
really lovely,
quiet.
awesome view, quiet, on a
Yeah,
full moon. Could be
you know,
pretty hot.
yeah. It's you got the creek sound that comes up the valley there, and
Yeah.
it's amazing, like ozone, fresh smell when you come up that
Yeah.
valley. It's just sometimes I'm like, wow, it's just like amazingly
It
fresh.
is cool.
Yeah.
It is cool. In your journey, who would you most like to thank and why?
Well, God for getting me there here, and then And my wife, she stood by me and come through this journey with me that I can't imagine anybody better to come with me because most people would have said you're crazy.
Oh, I'm sure she said that.
I'm sure she said that. Yeah, yeah.
She is always down for an adventure. As
I
long as I've known her, she's just like, let's go do something crazy. So,
Yeah,
I mean, she married
yeah.
well when she married
I
you.
know, right? I know, I know. I just can't believe. I mean, yeah,
All right.
just blown away.
Nice,
Yep.
nice. So the podcast, I'm trying to make a podcast with people that have experienced some sort of burnout. Coaching the Redline, my business, is mostly about being with people and talking about burnout and overload. And I'm wondering how in your life you've experienced burnout, overload, and how you've managed it as well.
So yeah, anybody who's been in business has known burnout because they're overachievers. I think most people are overachievers that are in business. So otherwise, you're just going to go to a job and just collect a paycheck and not have to worry about things. So sometimes that's your thought. Sometimes when you're in business, you're like, man, I could just go back and get a job. It'd be way easier, I tell you, because it is a grind.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of benefits to the grind. So,
Right.
but yeah, you go through the burnout, and I've been through it a lot. Um, and I don't have any specific. I think mainly it's just taking time off, and
Yeah.
that's the biggest deal.
Yeah.
Just get away from it for a little bit
Uh-huh.
and have some time with your wife, so that you can keep that relationship good and keep the balance balanced.
Good. 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 What are you looking forward to achieve in the next year?
The next year, get caught up on our finances and get to a point where uh, we don't have to deal with the Airbnb as much. We can kind of get it more automated, um, and get the clientele for the excavating business built up, and yeah, find more balance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
but yeah, it's a struggle.
It's hard. It's hard. I get it. Okay, so how does someone connect with you if they want to rent the Airbnb, and how would someone connect with you if they want some trenches dug or some pathways moved?
Or some gravel spread.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're B Creek Contracting, and you can find us on Google. Um, so our phone number is 208-610-2757. We don't really have our website going yet, but it'll be going here pretty soon. I'm just haven't gotten that far. For the treehouse, you can find us on Wild Branches Treehouse on Airbnb. That's probably the easiest. We're on VRBO, but I'm still working on that because we're still new at it. So, but the full build of the treehouse, if you want to check that out, that's on our B Creek Contracting Instagram. So B is in Blanchard Creek Contracting Instagram. So, yeah.
Well, Grant, thank you for being on my podcast.
Yeah,
I look
thank you
forward to putting it on your Facebook page and
Yeah.
letting everybody see it. It'll be
That's
on my
great.
YouTube channel and Facebook page at Coaching the Redline. And just thanks for coming.
Yeah, I appreciate having me.
All right.